Good day and happy Sunday, dear friend in Christ. Today is the second Sunday of Easter, year A. And our readings are taken from the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 2, verses 42 to 47, Psalm 118, First letter of St. Peter, chapter 1, verses 3 to 9, and the Gospel of John, chapter 19, verses 19 to 31. Today we celebrate the Divine Mercy Sunday. The liturgy of today reveals the undeniable, necessary, and interwoven relationship between Christ's resurrection and the mercy of God. The mercy of God is displayed in the Paschal events, and we continue to experience His mercy, graces, forgiveness, and reconciliation in the sacrament of penance. All we need to do is to make the best use of God's mercy, reconciliation, and forgiveness. All our readings today speak about the inner joy that a true believer enjoys. The early Christian community, the first reading, presents us a model of a standard faith community. We see faith in action in the first reading. They had three fundamental marks. Namely, they were united heart and soul. No one lacked in his or her need, not once. And they were a praying community, not a gossiping, not a judging community. This joy became so attractive and contagious that outsiders became believers too. We are Christians. And are we today, as Christians, the same to our world and in our world? Are we detached or just grabbing all we can and exploiting others, pastors and flock alike? As priests and pastors, are your church members your customers that you sell and gain from, or a flock that God asks you to tend and shepherd? St. Peter in the second reading reminds us that God's love is expressed in His mercy, that we were bought for that which was bought for us through Christ's suffering, death, and His resurrection. The Gospel reading presents us the popular Doubting Thomas, that episode. You remember when St. Peter and the other apostles were told by Mary Magdalene that Jesus has risen, they ran to the tomb to see for themselves. So, Thomas also wanted to see for himself. There are great lessons to learn from St. Thomas in our Gospel reading of today. First, where was Thomas when Jesus appeared to others? Don't also forget that He appeared on Sunday when He expected His followers to gather in communal worship and fellowship. So Jesus comes to meet with us, His people, and to strengthen us. He is always present. Thomas was like many modern day Christians who do not attend Christian fellowship and worship church regularly, particularly on Sundays. Many miss this opportunity of an encounter with Jesus like Thomas did. Gathering as a people of God allows us to experience the risen Lord, hear His greetings and words of peace and forgiveness. He said, "Peace be with you. Whoever sins you forgive and forgiven." To feel the joy of the resurrection, see Him again, you are happy. And to receive the Spirit. We must learn from this never to absent ourselves from communal faith gathering, particularly on the day of the Lord, Sundays, for worship and fellowship, the breaking of the word and the breaking of the body, the Eucharist. Second, when he was told of the appearance of Jesus, he didn't go elsewhere to look for a solution to his doubt. He stayed right in the community. Thomas acted wisely. He made up his mind never again to miss the next assembly of believers. He stayed with them to get answers to his questions and to clear his doubts. When we have crisis of faith, doubt, and we are challenged, where do we go to? To whom do you turn to look for answers to life questions and challenges? Sometimes we look for solution where there is actually none. In power, in possession, violence, intellectual pursuit, pleasure, drinking, drugs, and the rest of them. Sometimes we even go to places where they give us the add to our trouble. We live there worse than we got there. Thomas teaches us that we should stay in the faith community rather than go out to those who will confuse us, exploit us, or deceive us. A week later, Jesus appeared. Thomas was there. He had his own resurrection experience, and immediately his doubts were transformed into firm faith. And he fell and worshipped Christ. What others did not even say or do, he did. He professed Jesus, my Lord and my God. Dear friends, always come in and allow the risen Lord himself, who is always present in the Christian community as true worship, is present there when they are at true worship, in his word and in the Eucharist. Let him directly speak to you and touch you. Then your doubts will be cleared. Your worries will be catered for. Your life challenges will be positively handled and resolved. And your needs will be met according to his glory. The apostles will not believe Mary Magdalene, just as Thomas will not believe the other apostles until he gets his own personal experience. We all need this personal and touching experience to be able to be true, sincere witnesses to Christ. Go to him, worship him in truth and in spirit in the Christian community, and have your own experience. Then you can share with others. He is waiting for you. If today you hear his voice, harden not your heart. Have a wonderful day and a blessed week ahead.